My name is Mike Gollnick. I'm a sergeant with the Burlington Township Police Department. I've been there for about 14 years. My daughter Alexa, she's involved in the leadership program here at Donato Karate. Master and Mrs. Donato asked me to give a little talk on bullying with the new law that came out. From a standpoint of the police and public safety, we'll give you a little bit of insight into the new law that was passed back in January on what parents can look for and what the kids can do to protect themselves both physically and mentally at school. In January of this year, Governor Christie signed into law the new Anti-Bullying Bill of Rights. It's not a law like, assault or theft or something like that we go out and enforce on a daily basis. It's more of an administrative law, which means there's certain things that the schools have to do now. Principal Bolar will probably speak a little bit more in depth on the ins and outs of what the school is doing, but basically it's a system of checks and balances that they're going to have to do. So if Alexa goes to her principal or to a teacher that she's being bullied, it now has to be investigated. A solution has to come up for whatever the problem is. The parents will be notified. Okay, this is in all public schools from kindergarten up through state colleges in New Jersey, based on a few things that happened in the last couple of years. Also, if any of your kids go to private school, the law encourages the private schools to follow this Bill of Rights, but it does not mandate it, okay? The old days of teachers seeing the kids pushing each other in the hallways and teasing each other, the teachers just saying, oh, it's just boys being boys, or, they'll work it out themselves, that's over. The teachers have a duty to act now. If the police are informed of it, we will investigate it if it's a criminal offense, from harassment to assault to somebody stealing somebody's lunch money. However, I think you guys see it probably as much as we do. A lot of things that happen behind the school walls don't necessarily get out. That's where you guys have to have open communication with your kids and your kids with you guys. That has to be there. Believe your kids when they tell you you're being bullied. Look for the signs when they come home, what's going on. If they're coming home with torn clothes, they said they didn't eat their lunch, they don't like going to school, very quiet, they're having bad dreams at night. Those are things that you might want to start thinking about, maybe giving a call to the guidance counselor, giving a call to their teacher, or just sitting down talking with them, not getting mad at them. If you don't like the answer you're getting from the school, you do have an alternative. If you're not, like I said, if you're not getting any answers from the school and your child's being bullied at school, you can reach out for the county superintendent of schools, and they will make contact with you. They'll open their own investigation to find out why you're not getting answers to your problem at school. Okay? Mrs. Donato and Master Donato said some of you guys are having trouble at school. One of the biggest things that you can do is use your words and stand tall. Stand up against people that are being mean to you guys. You don't have to, people, that's not right. It's not right at all. And you'd be amazed at how powerful your words can be if somebody's being mean to you. If they just come up to you and say, you look silly with no teeth, right? Say, leave me alone. But say it like you mean it. Don't cower over. Use your leadership skills that you're learning here. Your bully buster skills. Stand up to them. Leave me alone. Let me hear you guys all say it. Nice and loud. Leave me alone. And then after you do that, what are you going to go do? You're going to go tell an adult that you trust. It's not tattling if you go tell somebody because you're afraid of being hurt or if you're being bullied. It's not tattling. Okay? But I think the biggest thing with that, guys, is remember, do it like you mean it. Stand tall. Tell them what you want them to do. Don't be afraid of who you are. If you look different, if you feel different, if somebody's making fun of you for something, you are who you are, and each of you should be proud of who you are. Does everybody understand that? Yes. Be proud of who you are. Another big thing, kids. If you see somebody else being bullied, not if you're being bullied, but if one of your friends is being bullied, or somebody you don't even know is being bullied, you guys, being in this karate class, you should act and help your friends out. You kids shouldn't have to go to school afraid. Other kids shouldn't have to go to school afraid, okay? So if you see somebody else being bullied, you step in. Leave them alone, and you go tell the teacher for them, because they might be too afraid to go tell the teacher, okay? And it's not going to stop until you guys stand up. So much literature in this. When I started researching it, you Google bullying, I mean, it's just pages and pages and pages of things to look at in there. And there's one of the best ones I saw in there was stopbullying.gov, and it's one of the handouts I gave to the Donatos, and they're going to hand it out to you guys if you want at the end of class. An interesting fact in there: if your child or if anybody is a bully, they are 60%. There's a 60% greater chance that they're going to end up with a criminal record later in life. So, as parents, as good parents, if you see the signs that your kid's coming home with, things they didn't go to school with, they're hurting animals, those are all signs that they're probably bullies in school. You probably should try to intervene with your child at that point. If you can't do it, get them help through the medical field or psychological field or something like that, because the road, starting off being a bully in first grade, you have a long way to go. And next thing you know, you're getting that call when they turn 18 that they were arrested and they were placed in the county jail or something like that. So it's something to think about. But I think the biggest thing with the kids, you will be amazed how much it'll work if you stick up to the bully. But I think that with the bully busters that you guys were being taught, don't let them touch you. Never let a bully touch you. Okay? That's why it's important for you to make your parents aware that you're being bullied. Let your teachers know you're being bullied, because when this bully starts putting his hand on you and you do your bully buster technique and he goes crying off saying that you beat him up or something like that, they already know that he's been bullying you and you were just defending yourself. And I don't think you'll ever get in trouble for defending yourself. And if you do, that's something your parents will work out with the school.
They didn't want to go to school because they didn't want to make it worse for me.
Right.
So it's so difficult.
Obviously, that's a choice that you're going to have to make. But I think, and the research is showing, that if you stick up for yourselves, it's going to get better for you. By doing what you're doing in here and learning your verbalization skills, your yelling, your self-defense, they're not going to bother you. Okay? Once you stick up for yourselves, they know that this kid, hey, I'm not going to bother them anymore. And that's where it's going now. So don't be afraid to stick up for yourselves, and don't be afraid to tell.